I don't need to tell you guys. That's one crazy ass world out there, is it not? I mean, Christmas, everybody's happy. Early January, you get a sort of rumour that something's happening in China. 8 weeks later, look at the state we're in. It's scary. And I'm lucky. I've got a decent sized garden. I've got the garage I can go in. I've got the workshop I can go in, mess around in the garden, and of course, saviour of saviours, I've got the tackle shack. All of which still makes me feel hard done by because the weather's good and I want to go fishing, but my heart goes out to all those guys out there that are, you know, struggling with it. I had a funny day the other day, I just could not get going. Just weird, you know, you just wake up in the morning, tell me, am I wrong? You go to bed at night, you probably watch the news like we all do, and then wish you hadn't. And you wake up, if you get to sleep and get through the night and don't have some crazy ass dreams, holy cow. I haven't had the 6-foot cat attacking me yet, but I've had those before. I think you can get pills for those or treatment. Keep your sense of humour. Keep the sense of humour. It's the only thing I've got left going. And you wake up in the morning and as soon as you open your eyes you're thinking, is it ever going to end? Anyway, let's go on a cheerful note, if possible. Watch a man burn his moustache and lips. It's only taken me 8 goes to learn, be careful. That G stove there makes things very, very hot. Guys, I'm like you, I'm stuck. I'm running out of things to do. I've done as many jobs as I can. I'll put some vlogs up for you, you know, and for the people who don't know, that's a video blog, I suppose. I used to hate the word blog. I used to hate it. What is blog? Can people not write? Notes, diary, whatever. No, blog. Does it stand for anything? Who can tell me what blog stands for? B-L-O-G. Anyway, I've got the G stove going. I'm going to attempt to have lunch in here because it's a beautiful sunny day. A little bit cool, but it's coming in warm as well, which is not great because I want to go fishing. And I've got it up to 275 degrees at one stage, that little stove up there. I've got a baked potato in there. I'm going to try it, splitting it apart. I won't put butter with it. I'm going to put something like spaghetti hoops and some grated cheese. I've already made myself a cup of tea on it. I mean, the stove's brilliant, saviour, especially in the winter. So while that is waiting, people, while that's going to take me, well, I said they're taking an hour, over an hour. I said that's just extortionate. How much does that cost in electricity now to put the oven on for 3 potatoes for 1¼ hours? At least do a joint of beef or a load of roast potatoes or something for that heat you've generated. So I said I'm going to try it in there. It might be raw. I might not be able to eat it. If it's inedible and crunchy, then I will be having spaghetti hoops and grated cheese and a cup of tea. So I used to do live baiting for bass with live sand eels, and you get pollock, mackerel, garfish, that sort of thing on them. So let me just show you what I'm waiting for that potato to do. This is my setup. Oh, here's my bucket, look. What's that, 5 litres? 2 gallons? 5 gallons? Probably 5 gallons. Okay, nice big handle. Who knows what was in there, but it's all been washed out properly. But what I've done is two ways of doing this. This is my live bait. I can use it on the boat with a biggish pump, or I can use a portable pump, which a lot of you guys might live bait with. And listen, it's not just fishing in here that you can keep alive. We used to go to Florida, we used to put shrimps in there, live crabs, prawns. It's, you know, it's a great way of keeping live bait. And it's almost, if you don't fill out too much, carryable. But what I've done there, there's a slot cut in there. Can you see that, guys? You think, why has he cut that slot and lip out of the edge there? Also, there's a hole in the lid. Now the reason for that is I can slide one of my portable, I'll show you inside, just buy these in tackle shops, they're not too dear. You know, they take a couple of batteries, have a little pump that goes up and down in there, a tube, and then your pump for blowing the air. Now the reason I've got a little bit of cord on the end of that is that I can put a weight in there so that it will, you know, tie a nut or a fishing lead on there and just holds that bubbler down in the bottom of the tank. Then, if you can see this, I wonder, should I move that this way? Because sometimes these cameras, I only use the cheapest of cameras, no point buying an expensive one. Well, I've got an expensive one, Graeme, you stupid boy. This Look, watch, see that which you would normally have for hooking on. It goes just in there like that, perfect. And you go, oh, I've got to tear the lid off all the time to put the bubbler in there. Not so, my friends. Got my little, imagine a lead on there. I drop that into the hole, goes down through the hole, push it down till it gets to the bottom. That's why I put that weight or stone in it. And I cut another little notch there just to pinch, so it just tucks in there like that. What you don't want is to have a big kink in here. So there's my bubbler. Okay, so I can put this on. It lasts quite a while, and away you go. Walk along. Don't fill it all the way up. You know, fill it halfway up, and you can always top it up with seawater again when you're there. I find that perfect for sand eels, crabs, prawns, that type of thing. Okay, but you can also use another pump. Oh, I will tell you what I do need. So here you go. I want to get a live bait out. Okay, all you do is just switch it off, obviously. Slide the pump out. You can take it off the bucket or you can leave it. Imagine the fish around in there. Not too much fun trying to catch a sand eel, a live sand eel in a bucket. Trust me, been there, got the t-shirt. So every time I used to go to Florida, I would buy on each trip, I must have 10 of these, long and short, little live bait. That went in the tea then. That's probably maggots, casters and 10-year-old bits of shrimp from Florida Keys. Ooh. Nice little short handle one like that. Okay, so then you dip in your live bait, bring your live bait out, just like that. Grab your live bait, don't matter if you get 2 or 3, get the one you want, upend it, put it back in there, hook up, away you go, hopefully, boom, bass, pollock, whatever you want. Foreign countries, barracuda, yellowfin, tuna, albacore, whatever eats, anything. So what you can also do, I've seen other people put a little hook, just whip on a little piece of hook there so that when you carry this around, we can hook it the other end, it just hangs on the bucket, so you've always got the net, as you can see there, your pump and the bucket all in one, all together. So, there's one. This one I've made here. Check that potato's still going. Hang on, guys. This thing eats wood, it's unbelievable. Different type of one, I've got 2. It doesn't really matter which one you use, you know, which one of these aeration stones you use. And you can get these in aquarium shops as well. But I'm going to feed this fire first to keep that temperature. I've dropped about 20 degrees. And then I'll show you my big pump with a battery that I can put on the boat. Well, I've loaded it up again. I haven't actually tried a baked potato in this oven. I've done bread in there and other stuff. The little mini roast thing. I've never done potatoes. They do take a long time. Put the spikes in them and hopefully that'll help it, you know, the heat get right through it. Right, this is my other setup. So this one's called a Rule 460 GPH. That's 460 gallons per hour, I'm guessing. Just a regular like bilge pump. Has a foam filter here. This has an adapter on the end, okay? So this can go and clamp on somewhere, or with that screw, that bracket there. And you've also got here that tap, can you see that? So there's an adjustable pressure tap there. So you can have it really blasting in, or obviously not. And this one goes straight onto either my boat batteries or the camera lead. This one's just got a couple of clips there, positive and negative, so it goes straight on my boat batteries, and or I take a spare battery. So if you're running the pump all day, I strongly recommend get an old one, get an old car battery, or I tell you what other people have told me to use, a small little dumpy motorbike battery. But you can, talking to motorbikes, get a small motorbike battery, and that does the same thing, takes a lot less space up. So this pump has little suckers on there, so if you're in the boat moving about, it will sucker down onto the bottom of the bucket. Same principle, you can move it around your mobile, or you can put it in a great big bin. You know, you get a big plastic bin. This thing pumps a lot of water around. So you don't have to use a big 12-volt battery like this. Is a leisure one, so it's one out the caravan I used to have. Runs for a long time. There's the pump. If you don't want to use it, you can use it as a bilge pump. If you don't want to use a stone on the bottom of it, and let's say you've got something like mackerel, scad, a big fish you want to keep in a big tub, like, I mean, I'm talking like a dustbin, or you know, you've got to keep some big live baits. Then of course you want a circulation pump, which this works. But what you want to be aware of is you don't want really a square live bait tank, because the fish will get into the corner of the tank, they get their nose in the corner, keep swimming and swimming, get weaker, and they die a lot. They do die a lot. So you'll see a lot of people that actually do have circular tanks, and that's why obviously most buckets, I don't think I've ever seen a square bucket in my life. But what I'm trying to say, on a big tank, this pump will whistle around. I'll show you. But this way it circulates. I wouldn't use this, look, obviously this powerful in such a small container, but it's now running on the bilge pump, so it's circular like that. Any fish can't keep their nose in that corner there. So if I put some, say, ground bait on later in a minute, I can show you that circulation movement. You'll see it better. I might even be able to get it underwater for you. Let me show you also the little portable pump I have with the battery, so you can see it's a much finer stone. The fine stone is really for using for small, more delicate baits. A full-on pump like this is more of a circulation pump to keep, you know, a lot of activity there, just like that. And this is, there, see, I can stop it with my finger. That's a little motor that drives this. Got it working. You can see how easily it just clips on there, and there you can see there's the stone, but it's quite buoyant, you see. That's why I have that piece of lanyard there to actually put a little fishing weight on there and take it down in the water like that. This would be standard for, say, UK fishing and small live baits, as I say, prawns, crabs, sand eels primarily. If you're keeping bigger fish, mackerel and scad, then you want something with much more power, like the actual bigger pump, the 460. Hopefully there's a little bit of an insight into storing live bait, portable method, or the bigger pump, circulating more water obviously, or you can get a reversal on a different type of pump, and get water pumped from the sea into the boat, and it overspills, runs on the deck and runs out of scuppers. More complicated. If you're just an ordinary shore angler, the one you want is the portable pump, the bucket, cut the slots in, cut the hole in the top, put the aeration stone in, that's all you need. Now I can smell jacket potato. The kettle's on the go again, but I still feel it's not quite done. So say, and it is a potato experiment. A couple of other things I want to talk about. People have asked before, what type of cooker is it that I use when I go, let's say, carp fishing all night, which is, wouldn't I like to go carp fishing all night? I'd like to self-isolate, I don't know, Todford Manor or Old Berry Hill Lake. No, forget it, Old Berry Hill Lake, it's lovely and quiet there. I guess it'll be even quieter now because the planes aren't flying. What I use are mics. Right, there's two. I don't know what the name of that one is. Have a look. This one's called a Coleman Exponent F1 Power PZ. Good. That's got to be good. That's got to be worth money, isn't it? Power PZ. My goodness. They come in these little bags like this. One is a sort of vertical one. You'll see it. You'll see the difference. Which I did start using, and you just rotate like this, so you get your cooking supports there. Okay. Has a little sparker there, like that, and assuming I've got some in these, I'll try and make this last as much as I can. It's a screw thread. You can different sizes in these. I use this one. It's called a C500, and the thread just goes like this. If I can do it, there we go. They're so easy. They're portable. They're light. They get very hot. It's that one, okay? You see that there? And then the other one, which I do like, because if I put something up on that, I'm in my boat, it's rocking around, you know? If you're on sloping ground, it accentuates. So I tend to use Mike's other one. Don't tell him I got both of them. I don't know how much they cost. I think they're quite expensive. Not for me, obviously, not for me. Stealing from myself. Hang on, guys. Cattle top up coming. Bear with me a second. So this one, a little bit more fiddly, but it's got a lower support. It's on a sort of spring effect there, and it's got 3 holes. I'm going to try and do this so you can see it. Assume I can see the holes. 1. Get in there, a bit fiddly. 2. Oh, I can count as well. I think it's because somebody bought me an abacus for Christmas. 3. Okay, now look, that one is much, much lower than that one, isn't it? Way better. So you put something on that, it's wider spread. It doesn't matter if the stones are a bit crooked, and it's better on my boat, that one. Again, it has a sparker there as well. And there, the attachment goes on exactly the same. I'll show you anyway, it's worth showing. All tips, the tips. Good Lord alive, what else are we going to do? We might have months of this, people. Somebody told me 2 years. Okay, turn on here, turn on there. See if it sparks. You can tune it. Just move that camera around. That is hot. You can tune it here, but difficult to see on a sunny day, so be careful. So it goes way, 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 way down, or you could cut through the side of the QE2 with that thing. Okay, so I like that one. Don't touch it, Graeme, it's hot, because it's low down. The other one, if it does start, has a little wire here, which is perhaps a little bit more fragile than that grip. Opens, and the sparker doesn't work. That could be some, whoo, happy days. There we go. Always take a lighter. I'm not completely stupid. So again, you can tune it down like that. It's a slightly wider fire burner, if that makes sense, than this one. It's slightly narrower, but this one, again, whacks right open. Fine on a flat surface, no problems at all. Just in a muntjac deer run right past. Trust me to have the wrong camera. So there's 2 there, Coleman's. I run them both on the canisters, C500s, and I have no problem with them at all. I enjoy them. That's the one I use nearly all the time. Finally, people have asked, obviously camping again, what's that little thing I've used for eating? They're dead handy, these. It's so small. It's got a little ring at the top, you can put it on your hip like that. If you're camping, you're out hiking, you could be overnight or whatever, and what happens is it locks together. So as you pull, say, the spoon up there, okay, and the fork in the reverse direction, it frees up 2 little slots, it just pulls apart. So you have a fork and a spoon, but you've also got a blunt knife. I haven't sharpened that one. A knife there, so you've got a knife, fork and spoon, and the most important thing of all, bottle openers. So there you go, got quite a handy little tool. Christmas present list that was actually answered. Now I think it's time for me to give the 5-minute warning. That's 55 minutes of cooking it's had, and it's now up to nearly 300 or going to explode. Don't know which is going to come first, to be honest. So we'll see if that's going to work, and then I've got to get on. Job done. Now, better get the spaghetti hoops on. One thing it has done is lockdowns. Although I just go mad trying to find jobs all the time, it has made me slow down a little bit. Now I've been in here messing around for an hour and a half, so 2 hours now, and it, you know, just I don't really get to enjoy it. As I sound daft, I do films for you guys in here, but I don't actually get to sit down and take it all in. I just keep writing jobs lists. I've got 2.5 days of solid jobs I've now written down in lists. Sunday's jobs, Monday's jobs, Saturday's jobs, you know, just to try and keep the head on the shoulders straight. I'm sure you guys know what it's like out there. Some people, man, they're in a bad way. The whole world is in a bad way. I'll be in a bad way if this thing doesn't cook this. Wow. It's all a voyage of discovery, this potato. Do they explode if they're left too long? I don't know. So toasty in there. What I do like about the lockdown is the peace, solitude and quiet. No jets, less cars, that type of thing. And, you know, no chainsaws going and motorbikes whipping around. And, you know, if you're making a film, it's really, really good. It's quite nice and peaceful, but just, I think I'd much sooner have the noise back and some normality in life. Not to mention the fact of the huge, huge danger we're all in. Seeing that Livebait, playing with those Livebait pumps and stuff, it brought back one of the trips I had in the Florida Keys. I'm going to recount this while I'm waiting for that. Look, guys, where else have we got to go? Where else have we got to go? I went over a guy called Jerry. I think it was his first trip to Florida Keys. Took him over there. We stayed at Bub Mary's Marina, a world famous place, and they used to give me one of their skiffs to go out with, you know, a guide skiff. Didn't need a guide skiff, go out. Anyway, I've been fishing around Alligator Light. I guess it's what, 2 miles off, maybe on the edge of the reef. It's where it goes from sand. I don't think you can fish there now. So guys, just check in all the rules and regulations. This is a long time ago, so check the rules and regulations for fishing in that area now. But at that time, I was fishing around Alligator Light, and I would slow troll with the boat just barely in gear, depending on the wind. If I went into the wind, I keep it in gear, a few more revs. If I turn and I pull those baits downwind, I bump it out of gear and just go in and out, because the wind would drift you, because you want to pull the live bait so he's swimming like this. And we use small fish like this called pinfish, which were quite fun to catch anyway, on tiny pieces of squid, a long shank fine wire size 10 sort of hook. And if you had a long shank, you could get the hook out easily, because they are like baby black bream in the UK. So we had live bait wells. So we'd fill up the live bait well with quite a lot of pinfish, as many as we could catch. We would go out with 1 rod each, spinning rod, 10-15 pound line, a trace. What did I used to use? Quite fine, these fish are fished for. I think I used number 4 single strand wire, number 10 barrel swivel at the end, and a small triple strength eagle claw treble hook on the outside on the hook, just a single hook. You would nose hook a live bait, just nose hook a live bait, both do it at the same time for the live bait tank as you were starting that troll or whichever area I fancy going. Flick them out, run them back 20-30 yards, hold the rods up high, and you can feel the fish like this, getting nervous when a barracuda's coming around. We were going for barracuda, and I can remember that day we had the best barracuda fish I've ever had on numbers. 32 barracuda, I think it was, we had over 30, I think it's 32 barracuda. It'll be in one of my fishing articles somewhere. 32 barracuda, I think to about 11 pounds, 9 pounds, 10 pounds, 11 pounds, just shading that. A lot of them were, I'm going to say, 5 pounders. And on one of these trips we went out the second time, oh my God, hang on a minute. We got some serious heat going on. This is a long fishing story, and they're going to be stuck to the pan. Just put it in the front. It's no word of a lie. I think the second or third day I went out with Jerry, went back to Alligator Light, have another go. They weren't quite so hot, but I hooked a good one, about 7-8 pounds. I got it into the boat, and you get blasé. Well, don't get blasé with barracuda. Oh, we caught 32 yesterday. No sweat, no sweat. Great sport. Double hookups, everything. I held it right on the wire like this, just on the edge of on the swivel, talking with Jerry. The next thing I know, it leaps up in the air, as barracuda I want, and on the way down, one tooth bumped my knuckle. It just went bang. I thought, oh, you bugger. Reached down to get it again. I thought, why is the sea turning red? Oh my God. His tooth, one tooth was so sharp, it cut me through my knuckle here, and I opened up, you could see the white of, I guess, a piece of bone or something like that. All I did was push it back together, wind a load of duct tape and tissue around it, and I didn't even go to the hospital or anything like that. Not because I was tough, because I was frightened of hospitals. So that's what I did, bind up. Luckily, all okay, all still moving. I cannot imagine if a barracuda bit on you at 15 miles an hour and ripped away. I think, honestly, bone as well, your fingers are gone. So beware of barracuda. Much better really probably to net them, put them in the boat and sort them out. So there you go, it's a little story. I'm going to try it, boys. The temperature on the G-stove's down to about 250, and the spaghetti hoops are now stuck to the bottom of the pan after that little story. So there you go. Good times. Good times. That's what you got if you've been fishing. And I've done a lot of foreign big game fishing. I don't do it now, I'm getting old. But I used to do a lot of it. I really enjoyed it, and I used to get quite a lot of fish. I'm going to have quite a lot of hoops here in a minute if I'm not careful. Moment of discovery. It's either cooked or I'm eating spaghetti. Now comes the problem. That's right. Hot potato. Well, is it going to be cooked or is it going to be concrete? Look, even now, hour and a half later, it's 225 degrees. I can tune that right down and just let it burn itself out now. Ow, ow, that's hot, Graeme. Ow, ow, ow. Now, trusty knife out. Come on, let's not break a nail. I can't go and get those repaired anymore. Fork. Oh, people. Oh, people. Oh my God. The first successful cooking of a jacket potato. Check this out. Oh, what? That is good news. Man alive. I'm kind of surprised. I am kind of surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Bit of butter on there. Or a bit of butter on there. A bit more butter on there. And as well as that potato, I'm going to put some, that's right, some butter. Let's just let those melt like that. Goodness me, I am well impressed, folks. I'll get my fingers burnt. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Now it's going to get cold quick out here. Then a little bit of cheese. While it's still got the heat to melt the cheese. Pack that in there. Yep, cheese is going to melt. Oh dear, all is not lost. Well, all is sort of lost. But I've got the spoon. How many kids out there should be eating this? That's a wholeheartedly good meal. It's got a bit of Teflon in there as well. There we go. Now that, folks, looks good to me. It actually looks good enough to eat. Get the tea. Guys, thanks for putting up with me for however long this video's taken, 20 minutes, half an hour. Had a good time. I've got nobody else to talk to, have I? It's only you guys out there on YouTube. And I'm going to do some garden jobs. I'll probably finish off those garden jobs so you'll have even more of me. Sorry about that. I'm going to tuck in now, guys, so excuse me, and I'll see you out in the garden doing, yeah, some sort of job. That is done really well. Melted cheese. I could have tuna, couldn't I? I could, do you know what, if I put a bed in here, I think I could self-isolate out here, no problem with that stove. It also apparently comes with a drying rack, so I could do my washing. Well, I enjoyed that baked potato, but now back to work. Well, that is this guy done. It's going to dry out really fast, this lovely bit of sunshine. I think I'll move on and do another one. I've noticed quite a bit here, look, eating away, the leaves there. I've had it on quite a few and I've only just noticed it on these, but I can't find the creature that's drilling all the holes. There, so does anybody know what type of creature eats these leaves? or is it indeed a disease on its own right? Something I've got to do. I'm going to get that, I'm calling that duckweed. I want to net some of that out to let some sunlight through, and if I let sunlight through, there I've got some nice lilies, and sometimes they come up pink. These were my mother's, so they're like 2002 at 18 years old, and they come up really nice in June with a pink flower, and then they seem to die back through the winter. Sometimes you get 2 lots of flowers off them. I think this little chap has been blasted by the wind, and he's going to get blasted by the paint. We're going to change his name from Cupid to Mr. Magnolia. I could actually have a project, if I had enough paint, I could paint the grass magnolia. Now that would pass a bit of time, wouldn't it? That would take a few weeks doing that. Has anybody got magnolia lawn? No, there you go. See, I mean, it could be a new fashion change. When we all get back to normality, there could be people wanting magnolia lawns all over the place. Why not? I've got one. Sometimes, you know, you can get a brush with hairs on it, but this one's 20 years old, so it's worn off, but it's much better painting with a brush, I find, with hairs on it rather than a wooden handle. But it does. Onwards with the jobs, people. This time I've got some plants left. We were really lucky to get a few plants at just before the lockdown. Put a few in. I wish hell I'd known before, because they said they're all going to be dumped. And I did stand there asking the guy, what are they going to do if they do a lockdown? Just going to dump them all. We've got a few here left. These are those. I better not give them advert, hadn't I? Pansy F1s. F1s is a breed. They're very sort of strong and hardy. It's a pack, 20 pack there I got. And as you can see, it says highly versatile plant, colour throughout any season. Well, we'll see what comes from that. What I'm going to do is put some colourful pots out. That'll help give us a bit of colour through this lockdown. And then what I do is I empty old pots like this, put those down, and then I add to them some compost. I clear out the leaves from other old bits and pieces of pots, mix it all up together like this. That's all got stones in it, so all these stones that go back in for crocking, what they call crocking, so you get drainage. And then I'm going to put those in all these pots here. Then you got a bit of colour off of the pot. You can see nothing's growing in here. There's even a label on it. Well, no, I say nothing's growing. Obviously the weeds grow in there. So I'm going to clear all the weeds out. They get dumped on the side and then onto the bonfire. I find it's best not to dump weeds because they just come back. So that can be tipped out, sorted, probably there. Yeah, see, I've already cropped those stones, gravel. One of the best crocking materials is this. It's like other pieces of clay pot, but I haven't got as much as I used to have. So let's get this mixed up into a heap, and we get these plants here put in there, and then waifu will be very happy. If you've only got bedding plants, there's no reason why you can put a good 1/5 of stones in the bottom or crocking, because the roots aren't going to go all the way down. They're bedding plants, they're going to obviously grow, but they're not going to go in a huge cluster of roots down there. And just go through all your soil, mix it all up. I don't mind if I have stones in there as well, because it all helps drainage. Why the reason you have, look, holes in the bottom here is for drainage. If you don't, you get rotting roots. Just go right through it. There, see that? That's going to grow into something that you won't want in with your flowers. Get rid of all the old dead roots from previous times. These ones are geranium cuttings that didn't make it. So again, You can see it's got a bit of a root but no shoot, and just dead, nothing green there at all. So that didn't work this year or through the winter. This is a nightmare. Some of this is chickweed, which budgies and that love, but unfortunately I don't. So to tip it out, bulk of the stones I just break like this, goes back in the pot, ready for something else. To do it like this, sort of gets away crocking twice almost. Crumble it all up. We got a lot of clay here, so sort of rich, but it can dry out quite a bit. If you use quite a bit of crock, about say 1/5 of that pot, you're using less earth and compost. Money saved is money earned. So I've got a good bit here, guys, as you can see. Oh, I hear Colin the kite squeaking up there. Yeah, he's up there. Then I'm going to get some handfuls of compost, basically peat, and that they make it as something great, but I don't like total peat like that. It does dry out a lot. You're constantly watering, so I like to keep my own natural soil that is on the property and mix it in with the peat, or compost as they call it. I mean, you can get proper compost, but you pay quite a bit for it at different levels. I wear these gloves, and they're supposed to be anti-slip, anti-grease gloves. They're absolutely brilliant. A lot of texture to them, so you've got grip, and yet stuff doesn't stick to them apparently. Tacky stuff, soft on the back. Somebody gave them to me from one of the fairs that they went to. Not a fair, a work show, you know. Right, need to crock this one. It's like somebody's leg. Is that where the mother-in-law went to? In goes the soil. You can see it'll pack down, but don't pack it up here, because then when you water it, the water's going to run over. And you also got to make space. So I want to put 3 plants in there. You want space, because you're going to do this, lift it up. I'll show you what I mean. These little discs annoy me, they blow everywhere. I'm sure all gardeners find that. Now these are compacted. These are well overdue to go in, so I put them slightly towards the edge of the bowl there. I'm going to try and break it up with colours. There we go. Just firm them in, don't need to. I used to do a lot of this stuff years ago. Lots and lots and lots of gardening, in between working as well, obviously. Had a big allotment. And you can always backfill those few. Try not to snap them. Now you can see there, by the time I firm that down, there's actually plenty of space for the water. So that one is ready to be watered in. Next one. Well, there we go, people. Pots I can just wash down when I get in situ, in place, and all the plants all ready to go and keep wifey happy. Hopefully that's going to cheer us up in these tough times. Going to get them on the wheelbarrow and get them round there. Put it around where wifey's going to sit. Now these have been planted about I mean literally a day before the lockdown, and see how much bigger they've grown. Way bigger. So hopefully the others are going to catch up with these. You see those? Look at these lovely colours in that. But you've got to keep them wet. I put these in here so they're out of the wind, and now I can move them back to where we can see them. I might leave one or two here. Probably will actually. Now you can use tap water. I don't. If you want good plants, you want to use rainwater, and that's what's in here. Definitely the plants like it better for sure. For the first time I like to give them a really good soaking, because that peat in the sack is really, really dry. And if you go to the garden centres when you buy these, you'll find they are absolutely, normally at a good garden centre, which one we go to is, then just constant watering. But rainwater, guys, is the way to go if you want good blooms. That should be enough. Good soaking. I'll give them another one tomorrow. I've just seen, guys, up there is Colin. I'm going to try and whistle him. I may get a shot of him taking off. He's been used to me working here. Well, I've done the pots, people. Done on both sides. So I figure I sort of had enough. Certainly done enough painting. Beautiful weather for fishing, and it's locked down. But listen, before I go and pack my gear up, I just got to tell you, recount one strange, very strange, well, meeting I suppose you'd say it was. Oh, afternoon in the tackle shack. It is, I can't tell you. I mean, it'd be different by the time I put this film up, it'd be different weather altogether, I dare say, but it is absolutely exquisite. Anyway, I digress. I just want to go fishing and can't. I'm out for my 1 hour walk, walking along, marching along, camera bag, bit of filming, whatever. And a couple came down the hill, the opposite side. They were about 150 yards away from me. So it was cold wind, it was like an easterly wind, and my eyes were watering. So they were a good 150 yards away. I took my handkerchief out and I was going like this. Just trying to get the water, the teardrops off the glass. I saw them absolutely freeze like that. So I thought, whoa, that's a bit strange, what have they done? I saw their heads go to each other, like they looked at me again, and then I saw them go, whizzes. They turned around, looked the other way, and walked the other way. I'm cleaning my glasses, for God's sake. Anyway, they went about 15 paces, and I thought, they're going to turn around, because I was stood still filming at the time. They turned around to see the diseased person behind them. So I got the handkerchief out. It was so funny, and I started walking fast like this. They almost ran. They were walking so fast, it was ridiculous. Some people, honestly, even with my wife, went for a walk. My wife, not got good leg, sat down on the stile. Up comes a quad bike lady with dogs to feed the horses, and you can't sit on the stile. You know, the bit you tread on. You can't sit on the stile. Other people have got to go on there. My wife's just sitting like I'm sitting on this chair. She hasn't got her diseased hands all over. You know, I mean, it is a sad situation. There's some good people out there. I've met some nice people that you can actually have a conversation with 2 meters away when they're fine. Just talk about stuff, talk about the weather. I haven't met anybody talk about fishing yet. But I've met a couple of real weirdies. So if you want people to go the other way, all you've got to do is get the handkerchief out, clean your glasses, like this, clean your glasses. Run for it. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Keep the sense of humour, keep the spirit going. Don't let the beep get you down, that's the saying. And I'll see you when I next bring the old camera out again. Bit silly really, Graeme. It's not in there, it's right there. See you guys.